Hi, Alissa.
Hey, Katy.
Welcome to episode number 288.
Okay.
We're going to avoid distractions.
Wonderful.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll try.
Can I give my disclaimer to YouTube?
Please.
If you're watching me on YouTube, I'm very tired today.
You do kind of look like you could rob a bank. Put your hood on.
I have my black hoodie on.
Put your hood on.
Tate decided
Yes.
that the rat from Ninja Turtle was in his closet last night.
Well, yeah.
And there was nothing we could do to keep him in his bed. And I'm so tired.
How long did you sleep?
Maybe like 2 or 3 hours together.
You're not ready to rob a bank.
No.
You're ready to take a nap.
Yeah, I'm surprisingly okay.
Okay. Well, let's see how many
I'll
times.
crash later.
Y'all, count how many times she yawns during the episode.
I feel okay.
Okay, I'm loving it. Also, we have these bright, pretty, pinky flowers on our desk for being so peppy. Trying to pep you up with your black hoodie.
We're trying to it's about balance.
It's all about balance. All right. The topic of this episode was sparked by you attending a sales
meeting with some agents.
Do you want to give us a little backstory without just listing out the things?
Yeah. So we started off by talking about what worked in 2024 and what didn't work.
All right.
And so much of what I was hearing that people either want to implement in their business or felt like didn't work were all things that I don't do, but I don't also either feel called to do.
Right.
Like time suckers.
Yes. Okay.
Things that, especially if you're slow, you think, I'm going to revamp my whole website.
Yeah.
And that's fine if you need to do that, but don't do it with the expectation that
it's bringing in business.
It may not be bringing in money.
Right.
So.
And you might have spent money.
That's
the worst case.
So if you need money, there are things that you should and should not focus your efforts on, because there are so many things in real estate that give you this false sense that you're working.
Like you've accomplished something.
One of the things that, for example, came up a lot from almost every agent in the circle was, I really want to, up my social media strategy and post more. And I just thought to myself, y'all don't listen at all. Like, first of all, I do think social media gives a very false sense of security because you think, I posted, I put it out there in the world.
I have all these friends and followers.
But we forget first how few people see that.
Right.
And in your mind, you think, you didn't know? I posted it on Facebook. Does that ever happen to you? Do you ever post something that maybe is a big deal and then you run into someone and they have no idea and you're like, what if someone was like, oh, Katy, you have a podcast?
I think it's happened to me enough at this point that I'm just like, I think I've real life lived the example of being like, you have no clue what I'm doing on my social media.
Right.
Zero.
Even though we know each other and we are probably friends on social media.
Yeah. In fact, it's gotten so bad that I think I'm more shocked when they do know. I'm like, you were in my stories? Wow.
And I think that is the mindset you have to have.
Yeah.
And this is not a social media episode.
No.
It's just an example of something that can make you feel like you were productive today.
Yeah.
And maybe you weren't. Did you see any real humans?
Right.
Did you reach out directly to anybody? And I even, reminded them in the meeting, like, hey, it would be better if you posted nothing for 30 days and only commented on everybody else. If you were just the commenter.
You would be more seen.
Yeah. And you're building those relationships with people. Everybody loves a comment on their photo.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel good. Like they took the time.
Yeah.
What if you were that person making other people feel that way?
Right. You want to be that person. If you're listening to this episode, we know you like data and numbers. So we know you're going to love this freebie.
In episode 226, we talk about all the numbers that we track and how to treat your business like a business.
Grab your tracking spreadsheet at hustlehumblypodcast.com/track. We tried or considered recording this episode last week when we were recording, and we were too amped up. So I would also like to add a disclaimer that these are not us telling you what you should and should not do.
No.
We want to try and just gently be like, hey, we all get distracted.
Yes.
Like we all struggle. So in an effort to not be us pointing our fingers at you, I got into our community group And they gave us some really great list of things that are distracting them versus what are income producing behaviors.
Yeah.
So like, what are they doing that produces income? And what are they doing that's distracting them from that?
And I love that you worded it that way, because the things that we're going to talk about that are distractions are not wrong.
And they might be something you have to have in your business.
Correct. It's just making sure that you are labeling your activities properly. Yeah. When you lay your head on your pillow at night, the question is, did I plant any seeds today that are going to make me money in the next quarter?
Yeah. If you just spent all day finagling your website, but didn't talk to any humans, you can't probably lay your head on the pillow and say that.
No.
I mean, unless someone randomly stumbles onto your website, but let's be realistic. I think that's the other thing about anything online, website, social media. What realistically, who's seeing it?
Anything that takes you away from people.
Right.
Like, we are in a people business.
Right. I also wanted to talk a little bit about how we measure success in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I haven't listened in a long time, but episode 2, when we do the culture of the real estate industry, I don't feel like has changed that much.
It's my favorite episode.
And we talk about, the awards and the accolades and the social media presentation and the
billboards.
Right. And the billboards and the big teams and
it's about me.
Yeah.
Me,
and
me,
the
me.
volume and all of this. And I think that sometimes even we fall victim to thinking that's how success is measured. In your awards, your number of followers, your flashy marketing, in your magazine feature maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with any of those things. But if your bank account is running dry, your business as a business is not very successful.
Correct.
Now, you may look successful.
Yes.
But looking successful and being a successful business that makes money is totally different.
And that's also why I'm so fact-driven.
Right.
When I'm in a group of agents and they start talking about another agent, for example, like someone just said, did you know that so-and-so made $6 million in commission last year?
Wow.
And I was thinking to myself, you don't say, because I produce similarly to said agent. And I know what I made.
And it wasn't $6 million?
And it wasn't $6 million.
Oh, shoot. What are you doing wrong?
And they were like, no, really, we can look it up on all these things. And I was like, let's just check that if and I care not, but I was aggravated that it was not the truth.
Okay, right.
I wanted to help their mindset, because I don't want them to have this mindset that this is happening when it's not even close.
Like, it's not only is it not attainable, it's not the truth.
Correct.
Okay.
So I was like, guys, we must change when we hear things. Like, first, like if it's really bad, let's fact check.
Why don't we fact check?
I'm a fact checker.
Good.
So right there in the restaurant, I pulled up my laptop and opened MLS and was like, to make $6 million based on the production, she would have had to charge 37% commission.
Wow, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. So I think we need to stop getting in our heads with, because someone posts that they had a 6-figure month.
Right.
We don't even know what they're counting. That they could have a team of 20.
Yeah.
Like,
right. We're not all apples and oranges. We're not all apples to apples when we're comparing.
Right. So in that way, focusing on the wrong thing can also be very distracting and anti-productive. If you're in your head about comparison and competition, it will actually slow you down. And then you think, why would I even host an open house? I'm not going to sell it. Like it messes with your mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why we need to be careful what we're listening to.
100%. And I think that being successful, not just obviously your business has to sustain itself, so make money, but also how well did you do your job and are your clients happy? These are really the only measures for me.
Yeah.
I'd be more jealous of someone that posted a super happy client story where they tagged them than I would of them showing me their trophy for volume production.
Like, wow, real people.
Oh, and they really had such a great experience. And it's so nice. I need to get better at that.
Yeah.
That's an actual
That's a
measure.
motivator.
Right.
Because it's real.
I do think it's really easy to get caught up in the weeds time-wise on pretty things, and we talk about shiny stuff a lot on the show, which is like jumping from one thing to the next, right? Well, let me try this.
You want me to read you a few of those shiny things?
Please.
Designing business cards.
Yes.
Choosing fonts. Brand colors.
Yeah.
Coming up with a social media strategy, but actually never posting
right.
it.
Right. Like you've got like the calendar all figured out, but you didn't post any of them.
Yes. But you spent a lot of time on that calendar.
A lot of time.
Won't contact your database until it's completely 100% filled out.
Right.
I would like to give a disclaimer here. It's never finished.
It's just like your vendor list. They're in flux.
Yes, you should be
take away.
Every closing, you're in the database editing it every time you get a new contact. Like it's never finished.
Correct.
So if that's your standard, you will never use your database. Coming up with a newsletter, blogging. Again, all of these things
could be successful
if you're doing the basics first. Are you running your business like a business? And if you are, you have time to sprinkle in some things you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, wow, my systems are in place. My clients are happy.
Yeah.
My business is running smoothly. I think I would like to add a newsletter component to my business.
Sounds great.
It sounds like you're in a position to do that.
Right.
If your business is struggling, that may not be the best time to focus on something non-income producing.
Right. And the way your newsletter looks doesn't produce income regardless.
Yeah, no.
The way you deliver it on time every month with information your people want to hear, that may produce some results.
Correct.
Okay, do you want to hear some of the list of things that distract you from doing your job?
Is this from our community friends?
Are the biggest. Yes, these are directly from our community friends.
Okay.
So we're not attacking anyone, nor am I sharing anyone's name, but they willfully gave me all of this information. These are the biggest time sucks and distract you from your job without producing any income-driven results or the qualifiers, okay? First up, anything technology related, website, logo, social media marketing, email newsletters, etc. So we've hit all of these, right? And y'all, I will tell you, I don't know that there was one response that didn't list social media.
Isn't that interesting?
There was not one.
You really have to be very disciplined if you're saying you're using it for your business. Almost like during business hours, you don't get on there unless it is to intentionally comment on someone's thing or post something for your business.
Yeah, you're going to hear as we go through these. Timers might be
timers would be great for social media.
Yeah. Okay, next up, kind of on the same vein of anything technology, trying to figure out ManyChat, Flowdesk, creating a newsletter or guide. So like all of these marketing things we could be using, just figuring it out, setting it up, figuring it out.
The setup is the hardest part.
All right, back on creating social media, it takes me way too long and I don't think I see a good ROI. That's my other thing with any kind of marketing in your business. How are you measuring the results? Are you even tracking where your clients came from? If you don't know the results, then you're just like guessing and then putting time into something that maybe isn't worth your time.
Right. If you have no idea how many clients that activity brought you, you have no idea if you need to repeat it again this year.
It's just like flying blind.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. All right. How about the actual editing for Reels? Let's get deep in it, right?
Yeah.
So like I know I need to do Reels if I'm going to be on social media. So I'm going to take all day to edit this. We've done it.
Yeah, we know.
It takes a long time.
And then it glitches and the sound goes away or your text goes away and you have to delete it and start over.
Okay.
One of the guys in this meeting, who was a delight, by the way, said, he was so honest. He said, I could take no more content for 2025.
And I'm done.
And only go through my photos and phone and videos and use what I have. I actually need no more. Because,
that's interesting.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that like maybe instead of focusing on shooting new stuff, have you cleaned out your photos and videos lately? What about all those like 12-second videos you took of a house before your client got there? Did you ever use them or say, I love this kitchen? Or we probably have things that you can use without creating more and more and more.
Right. And making yourself a to-do list of I got to go make this video about this.
Yeah.
Side story. as we were about to air, I was taking a quick video and you're like, okay, tag me in that. I'm like, well, we'll see if I ever post it because I take so much content that I don't even post. You're like, well, just post it right now before we start. I'm like, all right.
Look, you did it in 30 seconds.
It didn't even take that long.
Yeah.
So I think we all fall victim to that.
Yeah,
all right.
do it.
Next up, not just creating the content on social media, but this came up a lot, the scrolling of social media. It's the scroll. You went into it thinking you were looking up something that you needed, or you were putting out a piece of content, or I don't know what you're going to engage with people from your sphere. And then all of a sudden, an hour has passed and you have a recipe for dinner. I don't know. Like if you're lucky.
Right.
Maybe you just have a bunch of anxious feelings.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a different one that I think you'll have an opinion on. Real estate committees, which might seem beneficial for business, but they actually hinder my progress. The hours I donate to committees and board meetings take away from the time I should be spending on my client work. And the second person said, I spent a year on our local committee for realtor events, and I spent more time planning parties for other agents and did none of that for my clients.
Yeah. So I would like to speak a little bit to this because you have seen my whole journey.
Yeah.
So started real estate 2011, not married, no kids, immediately jumped into volunteering and leadership, not only outside of real estate, but within it as well. I do think it's important to serve your industry, hence the Hustle Humbly podcast.
Right.
But before kids, I took on too much. And I also learned that any organization, any volunteer organization, the second they have an eager volunteer that's raising their hand.
You get to do it all.
Yes. Like they are instantly like, oh my gosh. And it makes you feel good and honored to be asked to do these things. But then one day you're like, oh my gosh.
There's no way to remove yourself.
Right. And so I kind of had to go cold turkey. Like I just had to step back, and I really had a moment of, reevaluation, self-reflection to be like, and it happened when Haven was born.
Yeah.
So I was sort of in line to maybe look at being VP and then president-elect of the board, but it fell right when I became pregnant with Haven. And I thought, I'm 27. Why don't I do this when I'm 45?
Right.
If I want.
Right.
What is the rush?
No.
But even now when I'm talking to agents within the industry, I'm like, pick one committee and check how often they meet.
Yeah.
Every committee or board has different schedules. So they have some that meet once a year.
Yeah.
For the awards banquet,
right.
in our board.
Hard.
Yeah, it's not hard. So, but I do think, again, yes, is it beneficial? Have I won multiple offer situations because of my relationship with the other agent? Because we serve together? Yes. However, you can take it too far, and you need to be mindful of, am I filling my calendar with things that are income producing?
Right. And if you're the kind of person that can't say no, so once they have you as a sweet, willing volunteer and they keep asking you to do more and more and you just have it is almost easier to just be like, not at all.
Yeah.
Because once you're in that environment, volunteers are hard to come by.
For sure.
So by no means am I saying you should never volunteer. However, you better be practicing how to say no. Like, this is all I can handle.
Before you volunteer for anything, and if you're already in it, now is the time to reevaluate. The question is, what is the purpose? What am I trying to get from this?
Yeah.
And you need to be very clear about that so that when they ask you to do something else, that's not in line with your time frame and your goals. And you can say, no, I can't.
This is all I can handle.
This is all I can handle right now.
But thank you for asking. The end. Okay, so we did committees. So we're back on scrolling. And then we're back on creating content for social posting, email newsletters, building out my client funnel flow, tweaking on my listing and buyer presentations, playing with fonts and images in Canva.
So much.
Then going into the office once a week. It ends up being a social catch-up, which I enjoy, instead of a dedicated productive time away from the baby. So I went to the office to try and work. What I did was socialize with the people in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, while good for your mental health,
right?
Probably not good for your bottom line.
And remember, my rule of thumb was always like, if my inbox is tidy, I can go to lunch with you.
Right.
If you invite me to lunch and I'm swamped at my desk or swamped in my computer or in the middle of a project, I'm not allowed to go.
Yeah. You have to hold yourself accountable. Like,
Yeah.
you can't expect anyone else to, they're not going to stop inviting you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's an interesting one. To be honest, I feel like open houses are this for me.
Oh.
Complete waste of time and resources. I can't ever seem to get anyone to show up no matter how much I advertise. Maybe I'm just doing them all wrong.
Why do you feel like that one's for you?
No. This is someone else.
Oh, I thought
Someone
you
else
were,
said
before
this.
you read that, I thought you were saying.
I just thought this was interesting.
Yeah. And again, what are you doing at your open house? Did you bring note cards to write thank you cards while you were there? Did you get video content?
Maybe it's a great time to engage with your social media friends.
Yeah, go comment. And, if you sit there and twiddle your thumbs, it is a waste of time.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what you want to get out of the time. If you're just looking for buyers and no one shows up, then I guess that's a waste of time. But your take has always been, I can do something with this time.
Yeah.
That's work related.
It's a 2-hour office hour.
It's office hours.
And if somebody walks in, great.
Yeah.
I spoke to a human being. I said hi. We toured the house and then they leave and I go back to what I was doing and I'm ahead for Monday.
Mm-hmm. I think that's fine. Okay. Guess what?
What?
My biggest time-consuming thing is working on social media working on the post. I know being consistent is key, but keeping up with it can be exhausting. Like, you can be consistent on social media by just being in your stories for a second every day. It's really quite that simple. Okay, talking. This is my favorite. Just talking. Literally, like, talking excessively about nothing with everyone. I know it's a positive to build relationships, but I know sometimes it gets overboard.
Yeah.
Just chatty Kathy over there.
I've definitely been in situations. Now, usually not with clients.
Just talking.
Because, like, I'm a pretty good, like, after an hour together at a listing interview, I have to get going. Yes.
I'm a chatty Kathy.
Yeah. I remember one time one of my friends showed a buyer for me. And after the showing, I'm like, hey, how did it go? How did it go? No response. Like an hour and a half later, she's like, sorry, just leaving. I'm like, it was a 900 square foot condo.
Oh, my word.
And she's like, I know. We just got to chatting about this and that and this and that. And I'm like, not what I asked you to do.
No.
Didn't ask you to form a relationship with my client. I asked you to show the house and leave.
Get in, get out.
Yeah.
Get on your way.
And then the next time I saw that client, I felt like I needed to have a 45-minute conversation.
Right. You're like, I don't know anything about you compared to the person I sent last time.
For one time.
Wow, that's so funny. So, I don't know how you limit your talking. Oh, you're not going to believe this. Mindless scrolling.
Oh, my.
To get content ideas that I might not use after I get coffee to enjoy said activity.
I feel like this is a lie we tell ourselves. I'm scrolling.
It's market research.
Because I'm researching.
Yeah, I'm doing market research with my coffee that I'm enjoying so much.
I do have a thought.
Okay.
Like when we go talk about websites, what are your thoughts on like making your own website from scratch?
I mean, I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah.
At all.
I mean, you could just have a free Google page.
Yes, you 100% need the Google page.
And if you're going to need that, you may as well make that as great as it can be.
You can get a really cheap landing page, like just a simple one you make on Canva or whatever, that's like a single page of you, katycaldwell.com. And it says whatever you want it to say and has a link to your broker's website or not, whatever, or a contact me form or a Google form link or whatever.
Yeah.
The odds of someone looking for you and choosing you based on your website, I guess it depends on how good your website is.
But I think if they're going to Google your name,
and they're just going to find you wherever you are.
Right. So if your Google profile pops up as verified and you have reviews and photos and it's free.
Right. And I think some agents get a little caught up on I need the IDX feed on my website, which one, costs money unless your office is providing it. And two, even then, your clients are still going to go to their preferred portal. Do they like Zillow? Do they like Realtor.com? Do they like Trulia? Do they like
a different brokerage.
Redfin, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like they could go to anything.
I don't care where they search. They're my client. So like whatever works for you, search there.
And that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're very rarely going to be like, oh, how do I search on your website?
I've never been asked that in my entire career.
They don't need you for that. They know how to use Google.
So you don't have like a website with IDX and like.
No, I have in the past, but I don't now.
Yeah, I never have. But yeah.
And I had a Remax website that I spent a lot of time adding SEO to, and obviously it had the feed and all these different searches and and it did produce leads some, but
compared to the time spent. And you only know that because you know how much time you spent.
I spent a lot of time.
And you know, you measured the time spent versus the leads that came in versus the leads that actually transitioned to clients and closing.
And if you keep track of where your clients came from and they all say past client, then it makes no sense.
I think it's very easy in real estate to get an idea that you get very excited about, but you never take the thought process to the end.
Like, okay, right.
Like, now what? Yeah. Okay, you have a website with IDX. Are you trying to tell everybody to use it?
You know what this reminds me of?
It's the best one to search with.
I need to post more on social media. And I was like, okay, what for? Well, I'll get clients. And I'm like, but do you need more clients? You're like, well, no. And I'm like, well, I don't.
It's like the whole circle. It's like
then you don't need that activity. I think you're right. You either get overexcited about implementing something that looks cool that someone else did, or you just have always thought would be a good idea. Or two, you're desperate.
Yeah.
It's both ends. I'll try anything.
And I believe that when somebody says, well, I made this vision board and I put my words on it and my goals on it, and now I'm going to see it through to fruition. And instantly someone's like, I need to make a vision board. Yes, that's the answer to my business fog. All my woes will be complete in this vision board. But do you know why I think we get so overexcited with a new idea? Is because it sparks a little bit of hope in a pretty daunting career. Yeah. Like in this career, it is up to you fully. So anytime we're told of a new idea or something that you should do, we take it and we're like, yes, hope. If I do this.
Latch onto it.
Yes. But then you're an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in realizing this isn't going to work.
Like I'm ignoring the stuff that I know does work.
Yes.
Because this looks more fun. This seems like, and also to be fair, the vast majority of us are on an ADHD spectrum and get bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored with doing what works.
What is that quote? The results are hiding in the work you're avoiding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that. Yeah. So it's like you know what works. You know if you know where your closings are coming from and you're not leaning into how those clients came to you to do something new and fun and shiny.
Yeah.
You're just bored.
Totally bored.
You just don't want to do it.
One of my favorite things we do every month is meet up live on Zoom with our community members.
Yes, those meetings are always fun, and I love hearing our friends in different markets share what is working for them.
Hustle Humbly Community isn't just a monthly live. It also includes a private Facebook group where you will find us and an awesome group of helpful agents.
Being able to find those helpful and like-minded agents on our referral and military referral list is a huge perk.
If you're not in community, we invite you to join us now. You'll get the full prospecting templates pack, plus access to the podcast search feature.
There's so many benefits to the group, and we'd love to have you. Get in for just $25 a month. Head over to hustlehumblypodcast.com/membership to sign up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see if there were any other interesting ones on our What's Distracting People. Canva itself lets me be creative, and I used to spend a lot of time doing and redoing all the things. I thought that was an interesting way to say that. Guides, content, email signatures. It's like, well, you have one. It works.
It's like you have a constant distraction.
Yes. Like,
constantly.
I want a new email signature. I want a new buyer guide. But you have one. It works.
Freshen, revamp.
I'll tell you, one of the number one things that saves me time in my life is that I use the same real estate flyer. I have been using it for 10 years probably that I put in my listing binders. It's the same. I don't change the template ever. It is the same color navy blue. It has the same font in it. I drop in the pictures that belong to that house, and it is done in under 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Because I never change it.
Right.
And It's fine. It works super great.
Back in 2014, 2015, I had a client friend of mine who is very creative, just make me my tree logo, my green tree with my name. And she was like, I just thought this reminded me of you and I wanted to give it to you. And I was like, great, I have no logo.
Perfect.
And I had been operating a very successful business for 5 years without a logo, believe it or not. So I started using it. Well, when our company got bought, they wanted logos to be a certain way. So they were taking variations of what we already had. Mm-hmm. So I reached out to her and was like, hey, I've still been using the logo you made me. And I was wondering if you could help me do this to it. And she's like, wait a second. That logo I made you 10 years ago, you're still using it?
Like, I am.
And I was like, yeah. Why? She was like, people don't do that.
Yeah, they just get
bored. They get bored. And instead of taking their boredom to a volunteer luncheon or to Real Humans with coffee or something, they're like, I'm going to revamp my whole logo.
Yeah. Because I'm bored.
I'm bored.
I mean, it happens to the best of us. Okay, here's a good one. Distracting me. Organizing my already organized files. Sort of like revamping my already fine email signature. Organizing my already organized files. OCD isn't fun. That's what it says.
See, I used to get stuck in that trap of over-organizing my organization. Tabs within folders and everything's color-coded. Talk about a time sucker.
Oh, such a time suck. Okay, interacting with my sphere on social media. It's tough because it's important for building rapport and staying top of mind, but it devolves into, say it with us, the scroll. Mm-hmm. So that comes up over and over again. This one didn't just say social media or other useless things on my phone.
Yes. I can relate to that. There are
useless things on my phone.
Plenty of useless things.
They did give us a tip, though. I put my phone face down on my desk, and that sometimes works to remind me not to pick it up.
I did not know Kilo was in here.
He must have been so quiet.
Yeah.
Hi, Kilo. He woke up from his nap.
Yeah, y'all might hear his snores.
That's all right. Okay, how about this is a great one. Let's see who can relate to this. Things that distract me. Having Bravo on in the background because it's mindless TV, but then I get sucked into it. Not work related necessarily, but I do have a lot of Bravo addict clients, so we do catch up over it.
Yeah.
We're putting a positive spin on this.
I like that it's multitasking too.
It's like, look, I'm just leaving it on the background, and then I'm like, wait, what's happening?
Yeah.
Okay, creating content. We've been down this road. Networking, but it's just lunch with the same two agents like you like to gossip with. This one is necessary. Okay.
That's a good point, though, because you think I'm getting lunch with these agents.
But these are just your friends.
Yeah.
This is not like we're not branching out and networking with new people. Okay, so are you ready for some of their favorite income-producing activities? We've identified all the places we're getting distracted.
Did we cover them all?
I don't know. You check.
Making videos that don't matter, organizing notes. I posted on Facebook. No one responded. What am I doing wrong? I was in the office all day, got no work done.
Shocker.
I might switch brokerages, so I feel like I can't have any new business right now.
Right, like I'm not working.
I'm not going to work.
I'm paralyzed.
I'm in fight or flight. I'm in just paralysis mode. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think these are all excellent.
Yeah, I think this is fine. But working on my email newsletter. I don't have MailChimp, so I can't email anyone.
Right.
I think I wanted to say there are a couple of sister episodes to this. The bare necessities is number 40. Okay. So we just talk about what is it you actually do? What is it you actually need? Right.
Yep.
And then number 82, the problem with perfection. So more of the psychology behind what happens to us when we get over-focused on filling up our database completely before we contact.
Yeah.
Getting our website exactly right before we share it, making sure ours, all of that.
And I think new agents too struggle with this. We just had one that was like, I spent all day entering a new listing because I was afraid it wasn't going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you probably lost out on some good working time.
I mean, and look, there is a learning curve to being new. I don't think you can punish yourself if you're new and things that you have to do take longer. They will in time take less.
Yeah, you'll get quicker.
But, all right.
Maybe set a timer.
And did it really take you all day or did you also have Bravo on in the background?
Yes. If you set a timer, and said, I'm not getting up until this listing is done, and it took you 45 minutes,
Yeah.
all of a sudden your mindset realizes we must stop believing the exaggerations.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and to be fair, and in solidarity with our friends, I am highly easily distracted. I spend a lot of time in a scroll. I am working on this actively. And I'll tell you the other thing that sucks the most of my time is being in my email.
Yeah.
So thinking that I am accomplishing things because I am responding or deleting, but they just keep coming and I'm never stopping. It's like it's a to-do list with no ending.
Correct.
So it can be like, well, you feel this false sense of like, I got so much done today. I'm like, did I? No.
Right.
These people just kept breaking in on what I actually wanted to do.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like the scroll too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are just breaking in on what I really want to do.
Right.
All right. Are you ready for their actual income producing activities?
Mm-hmm.
Loving on my sphere with Popeyes or gifts.
Yes.
Sending dinner if someone's sick or they have a new baby. Sending Starbucks cards electronically for birthdays. I mean, that's so fast.
Yeah, so easy.
Doing CMAs for my sphere once a year, farming my neighborhood several times a year, and planning neighborhood events, writing holiday cards and birthday cards, posting consistently in social media. See, look, other side of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
Sending home equity reports in the month that they closed the previous year, sending out their settlement statement if they closed last year, sending birthday text, lunch, dinner, or happy hour with a past client or referrer. Asking for all caps this one's in. I didn't put it in all caps, but I agree. Asking for and getting Google reviews.
Yeah.
These are income producing activities. Chamber activity participation, monthly-ish email newsletter to the sphere, answering my phone. Like if you ignored your phone to keep scrolling, no good.
Mm-hmm.
This person said, huh?
Like
income producing activities, huh?
Like, do I do any?
I don't know. Connecting with friends and being intentional with staying in touch with them. I think that's good. Actually, a really good one.
Honestly, even what you're saying, all this list is good. But even I'm sitting here going, I don't do a lot of this. Like, it's very time consuming. But even being able to just shoot a text to someone, like, things like that make such an impact that you don't even realize. It doesn't even have to be, these are great ideas, especially if you have time.
Yes.
But it doesn't even have to be that. It could be so simple. You must communicate with your people.
You have to.
Yeah.
High SEO blogs, planning client appreciation events.
High SEO blogs are under income producing?
For this person, maybe their website's amazing.
Okay, I see.
That's the whole point here. If you know what part of your business is bringing you more business, you should do that more.
Right.
If you have
I would love to message that person and be like, that's amazing. Tell me, how much business has your blog
Great, you can.
you?
It's in our comments.
Good.
So community friends, you can go talk to, I don't have names attached. I don't even remember who it was, but it's in there. But I think that's a great point. And what was the intention of this show? I am not shooting anyone into doing this or not doing that, except for the doom scroll. You have to stop that. Everything else, it's fair game. If you can prove it's creating income for you.
And if you're doing it consistently.
And in an efficient manner. Mm-hmm. I think those are the only rules.
Yes.
Is it consistent? Is it efficient? And is it income producing?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There's your qualifiers.
Yeah.
But there's a couple more. The client appreciation events, doing an estate planning seminar with clients, fun market dwelling cards a few times a year. I don't know market dwelling cards, but
would that be like a football magnet?
Maybe. You would say that works for you?
Yeah, I get a lot of responses.
Yeah. And then the biggest income producing activity for this person is making calls, which I hate doing, which kind of makes me sad. I'd much rather send an email or text or gifts, they said.
Mm-hmm.
So would be curious if they're trying that.
Yeah. It also depends on my mood. Like if I'm highly caffeinated on a long drive, I may just want to like pick up my phone and call someone and be like, hey, miss you, what's up?
Guess what? I'm really good at talking. Let's talk. Those were their income producing activities.
Yeah, I like it.
Most importantly, I would say you have to identify what's distracting you and identify what's making you money.
How many things because I think people struggle too with wanting to do everything.
No.
So
you
how
only
do
really
you
need to do one thing well?
right?
Maybe two.
Yeah, like the SEO blogger. If that's all you're doing and you are really honing in your energy and focus and consistency.
If you paired that with a great monthly email newsletter where you're sharing the blog,
yeah,
I bet it would work great.
Yeah, I bet so too.
To your sphere.
Right.
Yeah, I think you just have to pick the things. And I also think, like the person who says making calls, but I hate them, you're more likely to stay consistent on something you like to do.
Right.
Which is why we're all super consistent about scrolling social media.
Yeah.
We like to do that.
Yeah. And if you can use it and be disciplined enough, maybe even set like a 2-minute timer that goes off every 2 minutes. Sorry, Kilo's heavy breathing right now. To where when you're scrolling, every 2 minutes, the timer goes off and you have to go comment on one of your database people.
Yeah.
I like to have my spreadsheet open.
Right, because you're basically checking off.
Yes, I'm like searching the people. Mm-hmm. But it also reminds me, wow, this person isn't even on social media.
They don't post.
They don't post, and they may not even have an account.
Yeah. So
which means they never see my stuff.
And I can't connect with them that way.
So how do I connect, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me realize the full impact of social media.
I love that you have your spreadsheet, your database spreadsheet open, and then you're having to look that person up because it will also quickly prove to you how many people, even if they are posting, are not showing up in your feed.
I can't believe how many people don't have anything at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like the connection.
Do you text the ones? Like if you're going down and doing social media check-ins or like comments or whatever, when you get to someone that doesn't have it at all, do you shoot them a text? Like what's your...
Yeah, I try to just be like, hey, was thinking of you or something. Yeah. Something easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Every time I see a name, it'll spark a different thought, right? Because I know them.
Right.
So I can't necessarily give you a blanket text.
No,
to
there's
send.
no template.
Because when you get to that name,
be like, hey,
you know what to say.
Did you swim a lot in the pool this summer?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can't.
I know what to say because I know them.
Right, which is, again, what always makes me laugh when people hand off their clients early or often or during the whole train. Like, how do you know enough about them to continue that relationship later if you were sort of MIA besides whatever part of the process you do, showings, intakes, I don't know. Like,
yeah. Right.
It's different.
Correct.
So in that case, you might need to have a different lead source.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think that's all on distractions.
I think this was good. I mean, I think always I need to audit myself.
Audits.
This is like a great self-audit episode to be like, but is that actually helping your business?
Yeah.
Is that your goal?
I know. And then I just like, even though I can identify that the scroll is not good, I'm still working through the practical applications of how to stop it.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Well, and it's like actually neurological.
I know.
That's like our brain is like wired to scroll fast.
So this morning I just didn't even get on.
Yeah.
At all.
That's good. Sometimes you need a digital detox.
You really do.
Go back to the olden days.
Yeah. Back in the olden days.
Get out your candle and your feather pen and write your notes on parchment paper.
Exactly what I'm going to do.
And wax seal that baby and put it in the mail.
Wax seal. Done.
Like sometimes you just need to do that and be like, wow, this is still. Imagine if you wrote some handwritten cards on old-timey paper with a wax seal.
Right. What if you added in what you would normally put in your stories? So like a picture of your lunch. Like think about how ridiculous that is.
That's hilarious.
Did I show you my outfit of the day? Like you just put it into the card.
They'd be like, why am I getting this mail?
You're okay, weirdo.
That's like the memes going around right now. That's like randomly text your brother updates about your day.
Oh no, I haven't seen
Have you seen them? It's so funny. It's like it's like
these were adults.
Yeah, adults. So like the sister like texted her brother like, "Hey, just leaving the grocery store."
What happens after that?
And he's like, "Okay." And then she's like, "It was really busy in there." And he's like, "Okay." And then she's like, "But I got everything I needed. However, I do still have to go by Walgreens." And then he's like, "Okay, question mark." And then she's like, "Yeah, I have to pick up the kids at 4. And he's just like, okay. And then finally he's like, why are you sending me this?
It's actually really funny. I'm going to do that to my brother.
It's a trend right now. It is so funny.
Wow.
You should do it.
I will maybe do it.
And then it's like there's some really sweet brothers.
They're
One girl did it. We're just rambling at this point. So.
Yeah, check out if you need.
Yeah, check out if you need to. But one girl was like, yeah, just leaving the store, da-da-da. And he was like, oh, awesome. And she's like, yeah, I have to go to Walgreens. He's like, oh, good luck. Hope the line's not long.
He was like into it.
Yeah, and then she was like, yeah, I have to pick up the kids by 4. And he's like, oh, great. Tell him I said hey. And then like it went on all day. And finally she was like, don't you think this is weird?
And he was like, no, I miss you.
And he said, I just thought you wanted me to be a part of your life. So I thought it was nice.
I mean, it makes me want to cry. It's so sweet. He's like, he loved the connection.
He did.
He's like, I want to know what you're doing.
He was actually like touched.
Oh my God.
So it's just funny. And then there's some really funny ones where the brother's like, stop effing talking to me. like
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, like stop updating me every step of your day, you know. And then there's like just funny sibling banter back and forth. But they're really funny to see
cute.
all the different types of sibling. And, you know, me having Haven and Tate together.
Right.
Because I don't have brothers.
You don't have brothers.
So I'm like, I wonder what Tate would be like. He'd probably be the one texting Haven, to be honest.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, what would Jack do if Ainsley was like, hey, just got out of yoga?
He would be like, Kay.
Okay. She's like, heading home now.
Kay.
Okay. What's for them? Thinking about dinner.
I think he would just consistently answer.
Yeah.
But not
comment one way or
I don't know if it would
another.
ever occur to him that was weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know, like, family group texts are a thing now.
Yes.
Which that wasn't a thing when I was a kid.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Do y'all have one now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not talking in it that often, but there is some chatter in it. I feel like that maybe that would always exist.
Right.
Your family group text.
Right. Well, in some of them, it's like we have a family group text, but I'm just going to text only my brother.
Well, right.
Just update and see what happens.
Be like, okay,
it's like record the responses.
Enough already.
Yeah, I hear you. She's like, one was so funny. It was like, I'm headed to get my nails done. He's like, okay. She's like, I don't know what color I should get. And he like didn't respond.
He's like,
and so then she's like, I went with red. And then it was like no response. And then she like sent a picture of her nails done. And he was like, nice. And then she was like, yep, headed to go to the soccer game now. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, am I supposed to be there? Like he's wondering like,
well, wait,
is she, why is she texting me?
I just must have forgotten something.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I'm going to go look these up now. Okay, should we
scroll?
Right, and just scroll. Right, thanks a lot, Alyssa.
Sorry.
Way to go. Way to distract me. We're even distracted at the end of the distraction episode.
I know. Oh, gosh.
Just saying, solidarity, friends.
Yeah, we all struggle.
We all struggle. Okay, toast?
Yeah, let's have a toast now. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Hi, this is Elena Barnett with eXp Realty in San Antonio and Dallas, Texas, and I am toasting Melanie McMullen from San Antonio, Texas with eXp. Melanie is my mentor, and she has been just an amazing resource, just always available for my questions, and thank you so much for your leadership.